Hey, cool plants and seedlings. This is Dr. Robert Kobel. I'm one of your professors for plant biology for fall semester. So I'm going to go over a little bit about the first lab that you have due. It is assigned during the first week of classes, and I know it's really soon, but I trust that all of you have the knowledge to be able to finish this lab on time. The point of the lab is for you to know different types of leaves, for you to be able to apply your knowledge of leaves to finding and identifying certain trees that are on the campus and are found in upstate New York. So the first thing that we have to figure out is the difference between a compound leaf and a simple leaf. And here with me is a compound leaf. So my camera person can come on by and take a look. So this is a compound leaf. The way that you can know what a compound leaf is actually found in your lab manual. So this is page 3 of the lab and has different types of leaves. And we're gonna be looking at the simple leaves and then the compound leaves. And the point of difference between a compound leaf and a simple leaf is where this axillary bud is located. And an axillary bud is gonna become a stem, but this denotes a leaf. So here we have a compound leaf, and you can tell it's a compound leaf because at the base of this long stem is the axillary bud. And attached to this long stem are smaller little leaflets. And you can see if you get really close, there's no axillary bud right here, but there is an axillary bud up here. So this whole thing is one compound leaf. Tomatoes, if you go to the store and you look for tomatoes, tomatoes have compound leaves. So all this information is actually in your lab manual on the first few pages. So before we even get started with looking for trees and finding trees and your 20-point assignment, I highly suggest that you go and you read the lab manual, at least the first 3 pages, and then you know the background information for this scavenger hunt. So what is the meat of this lab? What are you responsible for? You are mainly responsible for turning in the scavenger hunt page. And the way the scavenger hunt works is that you have to find 20 points of information. There's information up here, like different characteristics of leaves, like simple leaves, compound leaves. Some of them have lobes, some of them have margins, like that are smooth or serrated. All of that information is already in the introduction, so I'm not going to go over it now. I'm going to rely on you to be able to find that information. But your goal is to try to find 20 points of characteristics. If you find the actual leaf that belongs to the tree and you're able to identify the tree, that's 2 points. If you find a leaf with a certain characteristic, that is worth 1 point. And if you find a leaf that has those characteristics, so a leaf from a tree that has those characteristics embedded in it, you can get up to 4 points because you can like double dip. So we're gonna go through the tree finder. I'm gonna show you how to identify a tree. And we're gonna use this amazing tree right here. I'm not gonna tell you the location of it, but for any of you cool plants and seedlings that are sleuths underneath, you'd be able to find this tree because there are some points that are found in it. So how do you identify the tree? The first thing you're going to want to do is try to get one of these tree finders, and they're found at the bookstore for a very small fee. You can purchase it on Amazon too. We're going to be using this later in the semester, so I don't think that you're just paying, for one lab, but we'll be using it. We also have some in the lab that you could borrow, get a hold of your lab instructor for that. So we're going to be looking at this tree. The first thing that we need to know about a tree is that it is a tree. Trees have a single trunk that go into the ground, and this is a nice fatty trunk. There's a bush over there, so if you look straight ahead, you'll see that this is a bush. Let's see if I can point to it from my camera person. Bush, there you go, because there are several different branches that are going into the ground. So what you could do is you could take a little bit of the tree, make sure you get a nice leaf, or what you think is a leaf, from a single tree. And so we have this one here. And we're gonna try to figure out what type of tree this is. So some of you might already know, if you like hockey, that this is a maple leaf, and it is a type of maple, but we'll get to figure out how. So the first thing you're gonna do with the tree finder is you're gonna go to page 5. And page 5 will say start here. And it's going to say, if the tree has needles, start with this symbol on this page, like below. If the tree has leaves, start with this symbol. And so this is not a needle, right? Needles are like pine trees, or spruces or firs, like Christmas trees. So we're going to go to page 14 and we're going to look for that symbol. So let's go to page 14. If the leaves or buds grow opposite like this, or if the leaves or buds grow alternate. So we take a look here, and we can see that they actually grow opposite of each other. So they both come in to the stem opposite of one another. So you have the one on the left and the one on the right. So one on the left and right. If you look straight ahead, you have one on the left, one on the right that are opposite. So it says go below to this symbol. If the leaves are compound, or if the leaves are simple. So we have to figure out where the axillary bud is. And the axillary bud is actually right at the base here. And you can see there's two. So these are simple leaves. So because it is a simple leaf, we're going to go to page 18 to this picture. If the leaf has a single main vein with smaller lobe veins, if a leaf has 3 to 7 main veins radiating from one point or lobe, go below to maples. So we can take a look, and you can see here are the veins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all radiating from one point. And we call that palmate venation. Palmate, like the palm of your hand, it all radiates from one point. That's where the name comes from. So this maple has palmate venation. So it says, because they're radiating from one point, we're going to go here. If the notches between the lobes are V-shaped, or if they're U-shaped. The tricky part with this one is that you will know it is a V-shaped. A V-shaped is like a V. It is a definite point at the bottom. These are not. These are U-shaped. So you can see here especially that it's more like a U, or here's a U, it's not like a V. So we're going to go to page 20. So now it says go to page 20 to this symbol. If the leaf stem shows a milky juice when broken, leaf usually wider than it is long, base of leaf not curving, it's a Norway maple. Or if there's no milky juice, a sugar maple. Or if it's small and there's some hairy beneath, it is a black maple. So let's see if there's little juice coming out of it. Put this down. And so if I take a look and I kind of squeeze really hard, you can see some of that white milky juice. So that means that this leaf is a Norway maple. So then you would say, I found it. I found this leaf. Is the Norway maple on here, on this little sheet list? And the answer is yes, it is. It is number 13. So this leaf by itself is worth 2 points. Does it have any of these other things? Well, it's a leaf with palmate venation, right? We just said that it has palmate venation right here, so that's worth another point. And then it has how many lobes? So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lobes. So a leaf with 3 to 5 lobes. So this leaf is worth 4 points. 2 for the leaf itself, for the name of the leaf, or of the tree it comes from, and then 2 for the characteristics, 1 for each characteristic. How are you going to turn this in? So there are several different ways. You guys, many of you are young millennials or even Gen Zers. I'm the old fart of a millennial now. It's crazy. Time flies, man. So there are several ways to do this. You can have somebody take a picture of you with your face and the leaf, and you can smile. You can take your ID card and you can put it next to the leaf like this and just take a close-up picture of it if you'd like, and you can have like that if you're a hand model. Yep. You can do that. When you turn it into us, you can put it on a Word document, save the picture, email it to yourself, and embed it in a Word document, embed it into a PowerPoint, and you have to tell us the characteristics. So you have to tell us what the name of the leaf is and the characteristics that go along with it. If you have Snapchat, if you have an iPhone, you can do that actually in the app or on the iPhone itself as an edit. But be creative. If you need help for figuring out how to turn in your pictures, email your lab instructor or email me if I'm your lab instructor. So I hope that makes sense. This should be up on YouTube. I want to say like and subscribe, but I don't do the whole like and subscribe thing. So I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. Good luck.